In this video, we will dive deeper into a solar panel, follow the hidden electrical path, and discover how solar panels actually work. A solar panel is not one single electrical piece. What you see is called a photovoltaic module. Inside the module are individual solar cells. A standard residential panel has 60 to 72 cells, depending on the model. Those cells are arranged into groups called strings. Most standard modules, like what we have here, have 3 strings of roughly 20 cells each. Within each string, the cells are connected in series. So current passes from one cell to the next. The 3 strings all connect to a small box on the back of the panel called the junction box. This is where the module output is brought together at the positive and negative terminals. Inside the junction box are bypass diodes. Each diode is connected across one string, so if a string becomes shaded or damaged, current can bypass that section. More on that later. Now let's focus on just one solar cell and zoom in into it. This is the smallest power-producing unit in the module. On the cell surface, the thin horizontal lines are called fingers. They collect current from across the cell. The thicker vertical lines are the bus bars. They gather current from many fingers and carry it out of the cell. So the current is first collected by the fingers, then concentrated into the bus bars, and then passed onward to the rest of the string. But this is only the surface. Next, we look inside the cell itself. A solar cell is not just one flat piece of silicon. It is a carefully engineered sandwich of 8 distinct layers. At the top is tempered glass. This protects the cell from weather, impact, and mechanical damage. Below it is EVA, the encapsulant. This holds the cell in place and protects it from moisture. Next is the front contact layer, which contains the finger contacts that collect current from the cell surface. Then comes the anti-reflective coating. This reduces reflected light so more sunlight enters the silicon. Next is N-type silicon, the emitter layer. This thin upper layer contains extra free electrons. Then comes the PN junction. This thin boundary is the most important active region of the cell. Below it is P-type silicon. This thicker lower layer contains holes, or positive charge carriers. At the back of the cell, the rear contact collects the current and completes the electrical path. The most important part is here, the PN junction, which is the core active region. Let's focus on that next. The active region is made from 2 doped silicon layers bonded at an interface, the N-type side. This silicon is doped with phosphorus. Each phosphorus atom donates 1 free electron. So the majority carriers here are electrons. Now the P-type side is doped with boron, where each boron atom accepts an electron, leaving behind a mobile hole. So the majority carriers here are holes. The boundary is the PN junction, and this is where charge separation begins. Before light enters, electrons occupy the N region and holes occupy the P region. Their concentration gradient drives diffusion across the junction. Near the junction, electrons and holes recombine, leaving fixed positive ions on the N side and negative ions on the P side. This carrier-free zone is the depletion region. The fixed positive and negative ions create an internal electric field across the junction, pointing from N-type to P-type, with about 0.6 volts built-in potential in a silicon cell. When sunlight hits the cell, photons with enough energy are absorbed by the silicon. Each photon can promote an electron across the band gap, creating an electron-hole pair. The built-in field separates the carriers before recombination. Electrons move to the N side, holes to the P side, creating a voltage across the cell. With no load, this becomes the open circuit voltage, about 0.5 to 0.6 volts per silicon cell. With a load connected, electrons flow externally from N to P, producing photocurrent proportional to absorbed light. So that is what is happening inside one solar cell. Now we can zoom back out to the full panel and see how all these cells work together. In a solar module, the cells are connected in series. Each cell adds a small voltage. One cell may produce about 0.6 volts. As current passes from one cell to the next, the voltage adds up. So after two cells, the voltage is about 1.2 volts, then 1.8 volts. This continues through the full series path inside the module. In our module, 60 cells at about 0.6 volts each give 36 volts. That voltage appears across the positive and negative terminals of the module. When a load is connected, the module can drive current through the external circuit. The important point is this. In series, the same current must pass through every section. That is why one weak or shaded section can affect the whole module. This is where the bypass diode becomes important. A bypass diode has one main purpose: to give current another path when one section of a solar panel is shaded or damaged. In normal operation, all three strings conduct in series. So the full module powers the load and the bulb stays bright. The bypass diodes are reverse biased and inactive. Now, the middle string becomes the affected section. This could be caused by partial shading, impact damage, or dirt. That string can no longer behave like the others, so the bypass diode across that string is activated. It becomes forward biased, and current now flows around the affected section instead of through it. The module can still produce power, but the bypass string no longer contributes normally. So the bypass diode protects the module from severe electrical stress and allows the rest of the module to keep working with reduced output when some sections are faulty. Bypass diodes are one reason panels like these can still produce some power. Now you know how the solar panels you see every day own or work with actually operate. And this is only the beginning. I will be sharing a lot more valuable solar panel videos that you do not want to miss. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a like anyway. And subscribe to help grow this channel and learn more about solar panels, faults, and PV inspections.